Hello everyone, it's your professor here. Really quick video to make sure you understand what needs to be included when you submit your career assignment on Tuesday. So the first page should be the first document I gave you. Make sure your name is where it should be. And at the bottom, make sure you responded to those 4 questions asking you about the printout that you found on mynextmove.org. So make sure you respond to these 4 questions, either yes, no, or not sure. The second thing that should be stapled to this assignment is your printout, which is, if you go back, that's step number 4, right? That was the 4th step, is to select your best fit and print that out. As an example here, I have public relations specialist. The printout should include the knowledge, skills, and abilities these individuals should have or build up before they start their work, and other basic information as in what education will you need. In this case, it's a bachelor's degree or a master's. Gives you information on salary. While you were back on the site, you could find out locally what individuals with this title get paid, and other specific information that you should know if you're interested in entering this field. And again, as the example here is public relations. So that is the second document. And the last and not least should be the assignment that you received when you were at the Career Center. This is the one that it told you to log on to the Career Center and go to Occupational Outlook Handbook. And again, the instructions are all right here, steps 1 through 7, if you need to go back later. So again, the example we're using is public relations, as you see the student did here. The student filled out the first box, which is basically they could retrieve from either Occupational Outlook Handbook or the printout from mynextmove.org. So what education will you need? Are you interested in? In her case, she wanted to get a bachelor's degree. Nature of work. So on the website, Occupational Outlook Handbook, what did the website convey would be your responsibilities. You have medium pay or salary. It'd be nice to have salary. That gives you more of a realistic breakdown of what you should expect. A range is best. Therefore, you know what you should expect in the beginning compared to what you'll have in the end. Also included in the Career Center assignment on the second page is Job Outlook. Again, that represents, are there going to be jobs in the future? Here, the growth is 23%. That's very good. If you remember, the average is about 13%. So 23, that means there's definitely going to be jobs available when that person graduates, if they're still interested in public relations. And last but not least, remember, in your opinion, given the information that you've learned about that career, what would be some positive aspects and what would be some negative aspects? As an example, she wrote good money, as in salary and pay, but the work environment might be very stressful. And then again, you want to give at least 3 examples of pros and cons. And last but not least, a lot of students have been forgetting this, and as a reminder, you will lose 5 points if you do forget this. The last page on the Career Center portion of the assignment is the question: what resources would you recommend to this student? This story is about a gentleman named Ryan. What would you recommend to Ryan if you were in Ryan's shoes, right? This whole story right here is about Ryan. So what would you recommend if you were Ryan? All right. So quick little video. If you have any further questions, I'm going to answer those right now. So this portion of the video is for individuals who have questions. So frequently asked questions. The first thing I'm going to tackle is questions about the website. Some of you had questions about what exactly to print out or how could I go back and get that information. I'm going to explain that right now. So as a reminder, the website, which is on page 1, is mynextmove.org. If you remember the best fit that you chose, you can simply just go to search and type in that career that you remember. As an example, if I were to type in public relations, it'll take me right there, and I have a couple choices: public relations and fundraising managers, public relations specialist. Remember, bright outlook means that the percentage of jobs out there is higher than the average. Green represents, is this a sustainability field? And last but not least, Are there any registered apprenticeships available for this type of work? I'll go back to the main site. If you at least if you took the assessment, but you never got to the very end, you could actually, but you remember you either print it out or you have your scores. Again, if I'll go back real quick, all I went back to the home. I went as if I was about to start the assessment again, but this time I click here, enter scores, and I would just enter in my scores here, and I'll just pick some random scores to enter just so we could give you an example. And then once I do all that, I could go ahead and hit next. So I entered in my scores. All I would have to do here is hit next. And this is the part where a lot of you got stuck earlier. You want to keep on going, explaining how the job zones work. As an example, you might want to choose a career that requires very little preparation, or maybe you're ready to do a considerable amount of preparation. So I'm going to choose 4 to make sure I understand what that means. Okay, I understand it. And I would hit next. This is where you hit the job zone. So again, I chose 4. And one last time, when you hit next, this is that list of best fits. Keep in mind, because I clicked 4, most of these levels of career and work will ask me to earn at least a bachelor's, if not a master's degree. So, a couple clarifications. I hope this answers most of your questions. Remember, it's a video, so if there's any portion that you want to go back and better understand, feel free to do so. But as a reminder, what will be expected of you to turn in on Tuesday: career assessment assignment, page 1. Make sure you check off that quick assessment at the bottom. The attachment of what you printed out from mynextmove.org. And last but not least, the complete Career Center assignment. Make sure all 3 pages are complete. All right, guys, have fun, and I'll see you on Tuesday.